So this will be our last video for Introduction to Graphing. And as we're doing this, we're going to be looking at one more example of comparing something to the parent function. Okay, again I'm going to be using y equals x squared since that is the parent function for quadratics. And I will go ahead and put y equals x squared on my graph here. And I've done this enough times now that I know that, for example, 1 squared is 1, 2 squared is 4, 3 squared is 9, right? I know that it should be a mirror image on the other side. Okay, so this is my y equals x squared. If that was confusing to you, then go back and look at the second video where I actually explain how I'm doing this one. Okay, and so I've got my nice curve for y equals x squared here. Okay, and now I'm going to go in and I'm going to change so that I can do another color here for the y equals negative x squared plus 5. Now I'm going to go ahead and make a table for this one. Okay, we'll learn other ways to graph later, but right now we're just going to worry about getting the basics using a table. And so there's my graph, my table. I'll go ahead and put the same numbers in as usual. Negative 2, negative 1, 0, 1, 2. And then I will go negative 2 squared plus 5. So negative 2 squared, negative 2 times negative 2 is positive 4. So I'll make that negative. So that'll be negative 4 plus 5, which is 1. Now I'll go ahead and do the same thing for negative 1. So negative 1 squared plus 5. So negative 1 squared would be 1. So that would be negative 1 plus 5, which is 4. Now I'll go ahead and put in the 0. So negative 0 squared plus 5. And that should be fairly obvious that negative 0 is still 0. So that'll just be 5. And then I'll go ahead and do the other ones. Negative 1 squared plus 5. So 1 squared is 1. So negative 1 plus 5 again is 4. And then if you work out the last one, then we should end up getting 1 here. Now that I've got my points, I can go ahead and graph them. So x is negative 2, y is 1. X is negative 1, y is 4. X is 0, y is 5, x is 1, y is 4, x is 2, y is 1. So now I should be able to put my graph down, which you'll notice this time is upside down. So now the question asks me to compare these two graphs, compare my current graph to the parent graph. Now when I do that, I have a couple of things. I can say that the graph has been flipped upside down, right? That would be due to the fact that I have a negative leading coefficient. So it's been flipped upside down. It has also been moved up 5 spaces. See, the vertex used to be here at 0, 0. Now the vertex is up here. The vertex has been moved up 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 spaces. Okay, so my vertex is now at 0, 5. So that's another thing that's changed. Now I notice that the graph is actually the same width. Okay, it has about the exact same shape. It's just been flipped upside down. And so what I can just say compare also means say what's the same. And so I can say, well, it has the same width, but it has been flipped upside down and the vertex has moved up 5 spaces. Vertex moving up 5 spaces comes from that right there. If that had been a minus 5, then my graph would have moved down 5 spaces. And so hopefully you can look at these things and compare the two graphs. And now I think you're ready for your homework.